Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to the channel of Upright Men. By now all of you will have heard about the flare-up in Tawes Pen in St. Catherine and the general Spanish Town area of which Tawes Pen is located. But very few people knows the inside story are the incident and operations which led to the subsequent killing of the men who died and the big flare-up surrounding Tawes Pen. So this is where I come in. But for you guys who have been seeing what's going on, have you seen this video that the reprobates have sent over the internet to say, police, if you not come in here, this you know I gonna get. And some of these weapons are brand new. Look at them, and these men are well armed. They have their own militia. And it's a well organized, well equipped, well paid, and sufficiently motivated militia. And they are prepared to take on the security forces. It's like they have a separate police force, which is true if you think about it. But I have a solution, and watch till the end of the video, and I have a very practical solution. I'm going to give you a bit of the background story as to what led up to it, although I can't tell you everything because it would muck up future operations. But I'll give you enough for you to have an idea how and where it all began. What happened was that a shipment had come in to Vernon Field and an aircraft, we hear it's traveling out of a small island in the Caribbean. Well, it is not clear to me at this time whether it was picking up something or dropping off something, but probably both. The police was aware of this operation, but in order not to give away certain things, they couldn't target it while the operation down there was actually in progress, where the plane was on the ground and whatever contraband was going on or coming off was taking place. And that was done to protect sources. However, they knew the people who would be there at the scene, and it was actually 2-car load of people. Not loaded cars, but 2 cars with these reprobates in them. Now, after the reprobates actually completed their transaction and the plane took off, both vehicles headed for Kingston. The whole idea was that the second in charge of the one other gang was a guy called Othneil Lobban, and he was in the lookout vehicle. Now his vehicle would go on ahead and cruise the area. That vehicle, of course, would not contain any guns, but it would just go on ahead and then be at least a mile ahead of the car in which the head of the clansman of the one other gang, Othneil Lobban, was traveling in. The thing with this operation, why it led to where it did now, is that there were several exits is that they couldn't get very close to Vernon Field because Vernon Field is a very lonely place. So any move that the police made could have been seen from miles around because it is said that the reprobates had a drone with them. Yes, they were that sophisticated. They had a drone up in the air cruising the whole place doing a 360. So if the police had made any attempt, it would likely to have been botched to a great extent. So the police had to stay at a distance and wait for them to pass by, and they were not sure where exactly they were going to drive. And they had quite a bit of options. They could head northwest and go to toll gate, and from toll gate they could access the toll road and head straight into Kingston. So they set up one arm of the vehicle at toll gate. And of course, as we know, toll gate did name toll gate for hundreds of years, so it wasn't even a toll road at the time, or even entrance to a toll road, just saying. But they could also would have taken the Bustamante Highway. So they set up armed cordons or had men located at several other exits so they could tell exactly which direction they would drive, because they had several options to reach an either had one option to enter the toll road and about 5 or 6 options to enter the Bustamante Highway. Well, it so happened that they used the Bustamante Highway, and the way the police figured is that this would give them more exits to escape, while if they were on the toll road, they could be seen for miles and they could be tracked by helicopter. There was no escape. They could just close off every toll road, every toll booth, and drop all barriers, and there would have been no escape. So therefore, they chose Bustamante Highway. For some reason, by the time they reached through Old Harbour and heading in, when traffic got a bit more sparse, they realized that they were being trailed. And of course, that was where the fun began. They traveled along Old Harbour Road at high speed. Then when they reached the roundabout to Spanish Town there, they took the Spanish Town bypass. Because they were just, remember, that roundabout is next door to Tawes Pen where they want to go. But they couldn't go there. So they took the Spanish Town bypass straight past Osemati School and head straight out past White Mall and headed into town. Now, once they get on Nelson Mandela Highway, there was nowhere else to go but straight, because they can't turn to Portmore without being caught. Because if they do that, they would be blocked in. But they chose to continue going, and there were more policemen began in the chase. But the thing is that both cars by now had split up, because the other car with the second in charge, which was Othneil Lobban, they took a different turn, but the police kept their eyes on the grey RAV4. Now, when they reached 6 Mile now, where you have the overpass, they would have wanted to turn right and go on to Spanish Town Road, where they could probably exit into Waterhouse or Seaview Gardens or back to one of those communities. But police were actually at that spot waiting on them, so they couldn't take the right turn. So they went straight onto Washington Boulevard. It was there that the car crashed, because there's now heavy traffic, because they're heading right to the stoplight at Doheny Park there, with entrance to Doheny Drive, and with Corville Gardens on the other side. So they had nowhere else to turn. Buck up in a one vehicle, crash the vehicle, come out of it and run across the gully. For those who know that spot, know that there's a little footbridge right there leading across over into New Haven. And they went over there and man backed them up, and we know how it go. Now, the police didn't know where Othneil Lobban actually was, but they figured that he might have gone back into his community. So they went and they surrounded it. Well, I wouldn't say surround, but they went there to try to dig him out. But by then, word had actually reached back the Tawes Pen community that the big boss was dead. And the man them never make joke and fun for turn on automatic weapons on the security forces. And it was only through the extreme professionalism of the policemen who were under extreme mortal threat, facing extreme abuse, and a lot of stumbling blocks being placed in their way, and I mean literally stumbling blocks, and old car and old fridge and everything, and big rocks being actually thrown at them to hit them and blocking their way. Some even blocking their ways with their bodies. Now, bear in mind, this. It was not just Tawes Pen who were firing at the men or being abusive, Right across the road from Tawes Pen is a place called Othneil Pen. And Othneil Pen, even though it's geographically located across the road, for all intents and purposes, it is a part of Tawes Pen. Or should I say, a part of the one order system. These two communities are joined at the hips, and anything happening one side of the road goes on, it goes for the other side. One order. The situation was so bad that several police vehicles were damaged. Man just threw knife in the tires of police vehicles. Threw bricks and big stone in them windscreen. Damaging everything because them done dead. Because they were trying to come in to take out the second in charge. Should I say arrest the second in charge. Now, for the critical thinkers on this channel of Upright Men, this is where we talk about not just the symptoms, but consider the cure. And follow me now, guys. Situations like these don't ever have to happen, you know. First of all, you say Tawes Pen, and I call it Tawes Pen. They might try call it Tawes Meadows. But as far as me concerned, meadows are places that horses and sheep and goats, you know, frolic around happily. And that's why it's called a meadow. Now, a pen are sitting with your hog and goat there. And when we say hog and goat, there are a few decent people there, but you get the idea. And since a hog and goat over there, I don't know, Tawes Meadows, a Tawes Pen. Do I get a name in? Now, you see Tawes Pen, I want small place. Let me go on and give you guys an idea how small Tawes Pen is. If any of you have ever been to a stadium and watching a 100-meter, say you're watching a 200-meter race. Now, look on the start point where they go on their mark and look at the end part where they finish the race. Tawes Pen is about that square. Left, right, up, down, and back. Tawes Pen is that small. And on a big place. It contains about 8 or so high-rise buildings, 4-story buildings. You know how Tivoli Gardens buildings stay, like that. And it has a few townhouses. So, it's not a place that is difficult to control. As a matter of fact, had I, the advisor, been running this country, every single gun that is inside of Tawes Pen would have been found in 48 hours. And I'm going to tell you how. A place that small can be easily cordoned, totally cordoned and locked down. And I would cordon the place and I would lock it down. I would switch off water and I would switch off light. Get reinforcements surround it, no water, no light. Switch off everything. And tell every single person on the premises to come out. If they want to stay there and starve for a week, we give them time. They want to stay there for a month and dead for hungry and everything in them fridge spoil, fine. But everybody gonna come out one by one by one. After a certain time, when we give everybody time, when me give everybody time to come out, anybody who stays back to be used as a human shield, me no sorry for him. Or she, or the old lady, unless of course she in a wheelchair or she bedridden. If the whole place is cordoned, because on the north side of Othneil Pen, it's bordered by a train line with the cemetery on the other side of the train line. On the south side is the road leading into the heart of Spanish Town. On the west side is a canal, which is easy to control. The train line, the main road, is easy to control. It's just that there are some houses at the back, and once you surround those houses at the back, which open on another street, the whole place locked down tighter than a sardine pan. And all you have to do at that point is wait them out. They must run out of ammunition They must run out of food. They must, after a few days without light and water, tile need to flush. Every food that's spoiled in a fridge. Once you do that, you go house to house. If them don't want to give up, then so be it. But you're gonna find them and you're gonna get every single gun. Because the guns can't flush down toilet. Police are there, them can't throw none in the canal. Can't throw none cross the train line into the cemetery. They maybe can throw them into some people's yard at the back, but police will be there. And me I can say this to you now. You see, as for the slashing of the car tires on 5 police vehicles and the smashing out of them windscreen, I can say this. Me in charge of this country would have give special orders. Anybody slash a tire, just shoot him. Anybody throw rocks in and damage a police vehicle, shoot him. Dead, straight dead. We have to understand, that you say them criminal there, you can't hands and glove them. You can't lotion, pet and powder them because they don't understand civilized behavior. Have to treat them with the same level of brutality that they bring to you because it is the only language they understand. It's like they're a completely different race of people and nothing is going to work for them if it is decent, upright and civilized. That's why I'm saying, we want even 5 years of dictatorship. With me in charge, of course. Because them little fussy where we have a rule, whether in a PNP or JLP, them can't take the drastic measures necessary for bring back this country too. As a matter of fact, hand me Jamaica for 6 months. And it turn in a Singapore. We only want 6 months. Because what we have to understand, drastic situations call for drastic measures. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.